Hi guys, my name is Stella and welcome to my channel. This is officially my first video. I posted a video last week, but that was more of an introduction video. This is the first time that we're actually going to get into some content. So today we're going to be talking about branding. Branding is basically the identity of your business. It is the first impression that you give off. Branding affects every part of your business. Is going to incorporate into your branding. It's from your colors, your logo, the fonts that you choose to use on your website and any promotional graphics or social media graphics. It's the tone of the words that you choose. It's the text that you include on your website and in your social media copy. So it's really important to have a really firm idea on what your branding is. For the line of work that I'm in and a lot of the clients that I work with, it's also important to be authentic. I tend to work with a lot of female entrepreneurs who are very outward with their life and talk a lot about their life or talk a lot about personal things. And so because of that, I have helped build a lot of brands where the requirement is to also be authentic. So today I just want to talk about on how to build an authentic brand online. Because being authentic is not just it's not just what you do initially. It's not just your original media kit. It's not just what you put on your website. It's also what you share on social media, day in and day out. So I'm just going to share 3 tips on how to build an authentic brand online. Tip number 1 is be you. Your branding needs to be you, especially if you are your brand. So for example, if you're starting like a clothing company, then your brand may not be you. You may not, it might be shoes or bags. But if you're a life coach, then you are your brand. So again, I'm just going to focus on being, those types of businesses. Life coaches are anybody where basically you are incorporating your life into your brand. So the first thing is to do when you're establishing your brand is list 5 to 7 things that describe you, 5 to 7 words, and then incorporate those into your brand. This way you're starting off a basis where your brand is all about you already. It's based off of you, your personality. It could be your favorite color. It could be, if you're really passionate, it could be red. If you're very bold, you could use bright colors. If you're very more of a wallflower like me, it might be more pastel colors. So you want your colors to reflect you, and even your fonts to reflect you. Basically, because when someone sees you on social media, and then when they get to working with you or you meet with you, you don't want them to be surprised by the person that they meet. You don't want them, if you're a very relaxed, laid-back person, you may not want to have a picture of you all dressed up in a full suit on your website. So you definitely want your personal style and personality to reflect in your branding. A good tip for establishing colors is to kind of walk into your closet. What colors do you see a lot of? Is there a lot of pinks? Is there a lot of purples? Is there, a lot of reds or yellows? Is it a rainbow? Is it blue? Whatever colors you see a lot of are the colors that you're going to want to incorporate most into your brand. So my second tip is be real. This day and age, there's a lot of overlap between personal and business pages. For example, my Instagram page is also my personal page. I don't have 2. And some people frown upon that, some people don't. And I really think it depends on what business you're doing. So for me personally, I see my clients as friends. We are friends to some extent. I'm very involved in what they do, helping them with their social media. I'm very, very involved. So I want them to also have that level of intimacy with me that I have with them. And part of how I do that is I share very real aspects of my life. If I'm having a hard day, I share it. If I'm not feeling well, I share it. Every photo isn't from a photo shoot. Sometimes they're selfies. Sometimes they're, you see pictures with my things I did with my family. So So it's very important to be you. Let your audience in on your life. Let them in on the hard days. If you are just really challenged with your self-esteem one day, share that, because you never know who needs to hear that message. You never know who you're going to relate to. And setting up these kind of connections with your audience will make them more personal and will make them trust you more, which is what you're trying to build when you're trying to get somebody to talk to you about your life or trust you enough to buy into your service. So trust is extremely important, and part of being authentic is building that trust. But on the flip side, you don't want to get it to the point where you're oversharing. No one wants to jump onto the sinking ship. So you don't want to share a post every single day about how terrible things are, how things are falling apart. But I would say, if one every blue moon, maybe I wouldn't do more than one every 2 weeks. Because you want to be real, but you also want to be reliable. And so that's the important thing to balance. My tip number 3 is to stay consistent. And this is my tip in all aspects of social media. No matter what your goal is, I can almost guarantee staying consistent will help. But it will help with your branding. One, because you're getting out there and people are getting to know your brand. People are getting to know your brand. People are getting familiar with you. You're coming across all the time on their newsfeed. They're seeing your face. And that's extremely important. If you post once a month, or they're not getting to know you. I try to post on my social media once a day, and I recommend the same for you. I would also stay consistent with sharing. So what you're sharing, I try to do a personal piece and then a tip, or if something along those lines, just so you want the perfect balance between your personal life and then what you do, because you don't want people to go to your page and then question what you do. So those are my 3 tips for building an authentic brand online. I actually went in and did an in-depth post on my blog, which I will link below, just to kind of how you can start building your authentic brand, and also if you've already started your brand and if you're already in your business, how you can tweak some things to become more authentic. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you learned something from this video, and I hope you subscribe, and I will see you next week. Thanks.